BALATSEA.com. Do more. By Alaska Airlines, 80 nonstop destinations and growing. By the Emerald Queen Casino presenting Sinbad, September 25th. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. And by your local Ford stores. We are walking you up to first pitch. And speaking of, we take a look at our Lexus pitching matchup. And it's Wei-In Chen, who is 5-6 on the season. He has allowed 22 home runs this year. 19 of them to right-handed batters. Did I mention that the skipper has chalked his lineup full of right-handed batters tonight? On the other side, Vidal Nuno, he has struggled over his career against the Orioles. 0-2 with an ERA over 11. See what gives tonight between Chen and Nuno. Look at Kyle Seager. Not just one hop with Cano, but a couple, and then given a little love to Nelson Cruz. He has given no love to opposing pitchers over the last 22 games. That's how long his on-base streak is. Extra bases at 9. He tries to tie Junior for the club record next year on Root Sports.
Some warm and cloudy skies here from downtown Seattle as the Mariners take some momentum into this 3-game series against the Birds from Baltimore. Buck Showalter and his crew come to town as the Mariners enter after series wins against the Rockies and then most recently taking 2 games out of 3 against the Texas Rangers. Tonight it's the first of 3 against the Baltimore Orioles, who enter 3rd place in the East and just a few games outside of the 2nd wild card spot. Beautiful night for baseball here from Safeco Field. So glad you could join us. Aaron Goldsmith, Mike Blowers, our entire Root Sports crew. As the Mariners have taken the field, the Orioles get it set. And with that in mind, Mike, having a look at Buck's starting lineup tonight.
And leading off, it'll be Manny Machado. Not your normal leadoff hitter. 24 home runs for the third baseman leading off. Para, Adam Jones, career at Safeco Field, a .285 hitter in 30 games. Chris Davis, 29 home runs for the cleanup hitter and first baseman Matt Wieters. Catcher, but the DH tonight, he will bat with Scope, Lake, Hardy, and Joseph. Round out the 9 for Baltimore. For Nuno, just his second start. Pitched well this year. No record, a 2.88 ERA for him. 22 strikeouts over the 25 innings he has worked. Opponents hitting .255 off of Nuno. And take a look at the defensive setup brought to you by American Family Insurance. Goodyear is finally back in the lineup, feeling better, so he's in left field. Jackson and Cruz in the outfield. Seager at third. Marte and Cano playing at the middle. Jesus Montero, a hot hitter at first base. And Mike Zunino will do the catching.
So here is Machado, the third baseman, begin things for the Orioles. Nuno's first pitch, and a run away with the strike.
For Nuno, his last start at Colorado and his first start of the year went 3 2/3 in that outing. Gave up 5 hits and 3 runs.
I thought Lloyd had an interesting point today addressing the media that 3 2/3 innings in Colorado with the altitude, the conditions, and then of course you factor in that he ran the bases a little bit. Lloyd really believed that 3 2/3 there is kind of like the equivalent of a workout of normal 5 innings elsewhere.
I think I would agree with that. And then if you look at Colorado's lineup, one of the better lineups in the National League, he had to work awfully hard. In that outing, he threw 62 pitches. The good news, 41 strikes for him. That's a good fastball. He'll be 89, 90 miles an hour. Mix in a slider, occasional changeup.
The opposite way to Cruz. Round number 1.
I think in today's game at this ballpark, Lloyd definitely wants to get 5 innings out of him. I think he'd love to get 6 if he could. Felix taking a lot of pressure off of the bullpen yesterday with his 7 innings of work. One more day off for a number of the guys out there would certainly help.
That start yesterday from Felix, Lloyd was talking about, really did do wonders for the bullpen. The one guy that you can tell Lloyd is wanting to stay away from today is Joe Bible.
Joe Bible, yeah. There's been a lot of days that he's wanted to stay away from him, but typically when things aren't going well, you'll see Joe up in the bullpen, but I think he will stay away from him tonight.
There is Gerardo Parra, who was brought over to Baltimore at the deadline from Milwaukee. Really had a nice season this year for the Brewers at nearly .330. And had an on base of almost .370, both career highs at the time of the trade. And Nuno ahead right away 0-2. Nuno, 28 years old, from National City, California. Now in his 3rd season of the big leagues, and he has starting experience. This is not like this is something new, as he has taken the spot of J. Happ, who, as we all know, traded to Pittsburgh at the deadline. Nuno making his 33rd career start. Just missing to make it 1-2. There is Buck Showalter, now in his 5th full season as the skipper of the Orioles. Diamondbacks, the Yankees, the Rangers. He has led those ball clubs as well. Into the game a long time. Last year taking the Orioles to a division title. They won the East for the first time since 1997. What a year it was for Baltimore last season. 96-66. Swept the Tigers in the divisional series, that were swept by the Royals in the ALCS. Pesky at bat here from Parra.
Nuno, of course, in the bullpen this year and asked to go into the rotation. Probably a short period of time, his 2nd start again. But if you look at his work out of the bullpen, left-handers hitting just 111 against him. Right-handers, of course, 313, much better. But he really did a good job against the lefties when he was called on by Lloyd McClendon.
That slider for him this year has been such a good pitch. Opponents hitting just about a little over 150 against it. That may be a reason why. I
think it's a big reason why, but I think he sets everything up with his fastball. Against left-handers, he's not afraid to pitch inside with his fastball, but he wants to get them out with his slider. And typically, with 2 strikes, he'll throw it off the plate away, get him to chase it. And here we are, still in a 1-2 count. And this will be the 10th pitch to Parra. Pretty good battle.
He's fouled off 6 pitches with 2 strikes. Now Felix is all ready to go. No surprise. And pitch number 11 coming up.
For Baltimore, they're in 3rd place in the East. We've got a couple games over 500, but 10 games under 500 on the road.
Only 24-34 away from Camden Yards. This is clocked down by the pole, but a lot of hook to it. Now the beat goes on here. Parra, 8 hits in 8 games since being acquired by the Orioles. trying to add a little more offense to their outfield.
Take a look at the last pitch. There's the slider, and it is just off the outside corner. Forrest fouled off a number of sliders away from him. Weak swings, but able to get enough of it to get another pitch.
Pitch number 13 in play to Gutierrez. Now you bring up the wild card. Let's take a look at our Delta Airlines. Keep climbing standings, and we focus in tonight on the American League wild card race. The Blue Jays, they are gunning for the Yankees. There's no question about it. The hottest team in baseball. Blue Jays have won 8 in a row. They're 8-1 this month. Then you got the Angels hanging on. Angels trail the Astros by only half the game in the West standings. And the Rays, despite having almost no offense this year, they're still in the mix. 2 outs for Adam Jones. Nuno last year made 28 starts with his time with the Yankees and also the Diamondbacks. Tonight making his second start this season. Driven to center. Jackson has to look up, and it's 1-0 Orioles. That is a shot by Adam Jones. It comes with 2 outs, and the Birds take an early lead.
On a 1-1 pitch, and for Nuno, it looks like it's his changeup. Take a look at the location. Mike set up on the outside corner. It's probably middle away. Good look at our Alaska Airlines Supermo and the swing by Adam Jones for Adam Jones, his 18th home run on the year.
Here comes Chris Davis. Davis having a very nice bounce back season. Oh boy, that's a quality hat gone, and hopefully can be retrieved. Nuno ahead 1-2. Oh, that was quick. Got the hat right back. Down on strikes. Nuno bounces back for the homer. He gets Davis. And that's how we end the top of the first. Adam Jones, home run number 18. It came with 2 outs, and the Orioles take an early 1-0 lead. Mariners shortstop Ketel Marte will lead things off for the Mariners here in the bottom of the first inning. The Orioles have taken an early 1-0 lead. Adam Jones, a home run out to center field. And Mike Capital look at Lloyd's lineup tonight.
Tonight's starting lineup is brought to you by Chevron. Ketel Marte in yesterday's game picked up his first major league RBI and stolen base. And then Seager, Nelson Cruz, a 19-game hitting streak over the 19 games, 12 home runs. Cano, Gutierrez, and Jackson in the middle of the lineup. Montero has been a hot hitter for the Mariners, homered in yesterday's game. He will bat seventh. Trumpo, the DH. Mike Zunino rounds out the 9 for the Mariners.
Wade Chen up on the mound. The left-hander's first pitch tonight, a strike to Marte. Chen, 30 years old, out of Taiwan, now in his 4th season in the big leagues, all with the Orioles. Chen, most certainly a fly ball pitcher. In fact, one of the top 10 fly ball pitchers in baseball this season. He's been hit around a little bit since the All-Star break. 30 hits over his last 20 innings since the Midsummer Classic. Popped up to Scope.
And a look at the Orioles' defensive setup. Junior Lake in left field. Adam Jones out in center. Parra is in right. Machado, the third baseman. Hardy and Scope playing up the middle. Chris Davis is at first. And Joseph will do the catching. Wieters the DH. And for Chen on the year, 5-6 record, a 3.32 ERA in 130 innings, 106 strikeouts. He's only walked 30 batters. Opponents hitting .255, but he has given up 22 home runs.
Now faces Kyle Seager, somebody he's had great success against. Kyle only 1 for 20 lifetime against the lefty. Mike, you bring up the walks. Hardly any of the home runs, a lot. In fact, he's one shy of matching his season total from last year. It's interesting to see somebody who's allowed 22 home runs to have an earned run average beneath 3.5, but you'd have to figure that the walks, lack thereof, probably help in that regard.
That, and he doesn't give up a lot of base hits. Less base hits than innings pitched. So when he's giving up the home runs and pitching at Camden Yards, you're going to do that. A lot of solo home runs, 2-run home runs, and he's been able to hang in there because of that. But 22 home runs on the year. You mentioned him as a fly ball pitcher. He likes to throw his fastball. He has a good one. He'll be 91 to 94 miles an hour with his fastball. He'll also mix in a slider curveball changeup, an occasional curveball, slider curveball, and occasional changeup. But a lot of fastballs for him. 67% of his pitches in his last outing fastballs. And he's been right about there on the year. So the guy should get something to hit. But you can see a lot of the fastballs are elevated at the top of the strike zone. If we show you the EQC tracer tonight with Chen on the mound, you're going to see a lot of fastballs on that top line.
Seager looking at a 2-2 count. 1 out, nobody on. Just underway, bottom of the first. Seager punches this out to right field, and this is just off the wall. How in the world did that stay in the park? Seager winds up with a smash double.
And one of the better fastballs you're going to see from Chen. 95 again, right at the top of the strike zone. You can see Kyle gets in on just a little bit. One of the areas that Kyle has improved on is his hitting against left-handers. This year hitting .307. So that double will add to that as it hits right off the top of the wall.
A thumbs up, but boy, that almost seemed like an optical illusion. How did that stay in the yard? Seager missing a homer. It would have been his 17th by inches. That brings in Cruz, the Oriole from last year. Let's see how close this was. Wow. So Seager at second. A chance for a little bit of history tonight for Nelson Cruz. If he picks up an extra base hit tonight, it would tie Ken Griffey Jr. 10 in a row, the longest such streak in franchise history. Pretty elite company. You can see the average 500 Nelson is hitting in those 9 games.
One of the more impressive 19-game hitting streaks that I have seen. You consider the 12 home runs, the amount of damage that he has done. Hitting .422. Yeah, that's pretty good.
You think about it, Cruz in these 19 games, 35 hits. That's a month for some guys. So they'd be very happy with that.
You bet they would be. Absolutely. It'll be interesting in this 3-game series to watch Baltimore try to pitch to him. As you look at what he has done this year against lefties and righties. They know him as well as anybody. Last year, leading the major leagues, hitting 40 home runs for the Orioles. There's the high fastball missing.
Showalter knows him well. Seager, a wall ball double at second base, 1 out. High twisting pop up with a little bit of carry, but Parra is right there. Seager tags at second and shuffles into third. He's safe. 2 outs and a man at third.
This will give you an idea of what a strong throwing arm for Parra. As Kyle gets in the third, I'm sure he didn't expect there to be a play at all. The ball was right in front of the warning track. But the right fielder able to make a strong throw in the third.
Cano the go-ahead run, tying run 90 feet from home. Robinson batting nearly .330 since July the 1st. 8 of his 12 home runs since the start of July. First pitch. There's Scope to his counterpart for round number 3. Seager left at third base, and we're through the first inning. Orioles lead at 1-0. Series against the Orioles. We hope you can bring the whole family out to the ballpark and save. Score 4 tickets, hot dogs, and Pepsis for one low price. The Safeco Insurance invites you to do more with the Grand Slam Family Package. The next event tomorrow, 7:10 the first pitch against the Orioles. So pick up tickets by simply going to Mariners.com. Adam Jones, a solo 2-out homer in the first. That is how the Orioles have taken a 1-0 lead. Here is Matt Wieters. Gold Glove catcher, DHing here tonight. He's essentially alternated DHing days and nights behind home plate after coming off Tommy John surgery. The Mariners did not see Wieters when these two teams met earlier this season in Baltimore in May when the Orioles took 2 out of 3. Nuno far behind 3-0.
Having a tough time hitting the outside corner. All 3 pitches almost in the same spot.
"24 pitches in the first inning for Nuno. 13 of them went to Parra.
It's amazing at bat, just the battle that they had. Nuno ended up winning it. He ended up flying out to left field. But that is not something that Lloyd wants to see. A lot of at bats, long at bats. So it's going to be his job to work ahead, and he was. The count was 1-2. It seemed as if it was forever 1-2.
It was a 5-minute at bat.
Yeah.
Nuno's 3-2, and he gets Waiters cutting right through it. Nice way to begin the top of the second. Well, how about we look at our CenturyLink What's Next? Chris Tillman. For a while we thought Tillman might start tonight, but instead pushed back to tomorrow against Taijuan Walker. Could be a good one tomorrow night. 7:10 the first pitch right here from Safeco Field. Our coverage will begin at 6:30. One out for Scope, and the first pitch missing for ball 1. Scope swinging a pretty hot bat right now, an 8-game hitting streak. That's the longest of the season. Really has not seen a whole lot of playing time this year. Was on the 60-day disabled list for a long while this season with a knee injury.
Only 118 at bats for him on the year, but he is hitting .314 with the 8 home runs. There you can see the damage he's done.
Cruz chasing after it, but this finds a fan. And the count stays put, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Thinking of the Mariners lately, go back to the road trip. They split the series with Minnesota, 2 out of 3 with Colorado. They come home, win 2 out of 3. Playing better baseball. Boy, it hurts when you go back to think of what could have been as he hits this one hopper to Kyle.
Nice work there for round number 2.
A couple of tough losses in there. So that even though they're playing better baseball and they're winning series here, they could be even better than that. They could have a pretty good run going for themselves right now. Unfortunately, the bullpen has been really tired and they've made some mistakes.
Now the Mariners have been waiting for that run. That's what Lloyd has talked about a number of times. Back-to-back series wins for the first time since late May. The Mariners haven't won 3 consecutive series since last August. So a chance to do that. This 3-game set with Baltimore. Now these games, as we mentioned earlier, very meaningful for the Orioles, as they're right now 3 games in back of the second wild card spot. But as we just saw a shot of Edgar there, the offense, look at the Mariners' last 10 games, they've won 6 of them. Mariners offense hitting over 270, averaging 5 runs a game.
I think that he deserves a lot of the credit working with the guys, and you can see the at-bats that they've had. Their batting average hitting with runners in scoring position is only at 220, but when you consider where it was at and the amount of at-bats that they had at that point, that's a pretty big jump for them. The reason why they're a run better a game since Edgar has taken over.
And that really was kind of one of the questions that a lot of people had right away when Edgar was hired, is how long does it take for something like that to take full effect? Edgar holding this position for the first time in his career as a major league hitting coach, and coming in mid-season, there's obviously some hurdles there, but we're seeing the dividends right now already.
Well, I think so. I think there's a couple of advantages that he had coming in. It's always difficult when you join a club almost mid-season. But for him, because of his resume, he walks in the clubhouse with respect from the guys right away. And if you talk to him about hitting, it will not take you very long to figure out. He really knows what he's talking about. But I think he's brought a calmness to the situation and taken some of the pressure off of a number of the guys.
Strike 3 called. 3rd strikeout for the last 4 hitters for Nuno. Junior Lake not looking. Right now we take a look at our Geico this date in big league history, and it involves a former Eddie Murray at 40 years old, his 18th career grand slam. If you look at that period in time, it was right up there with some of the best in the history of the game. Willie McCovey for second all time right now. A-Rod with 24, the most in baseball history. But Murray, a Hall of Famer, played for 21 seasons. One of the best.
One of the best switch hitters I've ever seen.
Here is Goody to begin things in the bottom of the second. It really is pretty remarkable to think of how far Gutierrez has come since reporting to spring training in Peoria to then spend the time that he did in Tacoma. Not sure if his name would be called at any point this year up to the major leagues, signing a minor league deal. And then not only Mike to contribute, but to contribute in the clutch moments that he has.
No, you're right. And I can remember seeing him in spring training and wondering what the plan was going to be. And I think after having conversation, it was just to see if he could stay healthy. And I think he's already played a lot more than people expected him to. And when he's in there, especially against left-handers, it's nice to have a veteran guy that you had in your organization, and at one point was one of the stars on this team. I think Lloyd, the biggest challenge for him is to find out how he's feeling on a daily basis. Had the flu and missed a couple of games.
Muscled high left field. Lake right there by the wall, and he leaps. It's gone. All tied up in one apiece. Franklin Gutierrez, number 5. And you can break out the stopwatch for some more hang time. That just gets over.
And he can still turn around a fastball. 92 miles an hour on the inside corner, and it stays in the air for a long time. Nelson Cruz's home run yesterday was 7 seconds, and that was close to that. Franklin Gutierrez, his 5th home run. As you see, Junior League trying to get over the fence and bring it back, not able to reach it.
Couple of solo home runs. Adam Jones, now Franklin Gutierrez. We'll take another look. What'd you say? Cruz 7 seconds, 7 and change?
A little over 7 yesterday, yeah.
No, those with the stopwatch tell us 6.5 seconds. Pretty close.
Very good punt.
That would be a great punt. That rattles off of Joseph, the catcher. Really, when you think about the 4 home runs that Goody's hit, that might only be the second, or pardon me, the 5 now. Most of them in the other way, up the middle to center field. We've seen him pull this one this time, maybe the second that he's yanked out to left.
I think it's a good sign to see him turn on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball right on the inside corner. He and Felix, of course, great friends. Felix was outstanding yesterday, pitching 7 innings.
Boy, that was just a textbook vintage Felix ultra quality start in so many ways, especially when, and Mike, you've said this so many times, that you love watching Felix on days when maybe he doesn't have his best stuff. And early on, it looked like that might be the case. Fell behind a number of times to hitters early, but man, then something happened in the 5th inning. He was just in cruise control.
And he had to throw a lot of pitches through the first 2 innings. And I was wondering if he was going to be able to get deep into the game as Austin Jackson hits this out to Parra and right. But he ended up settling down, started pitching to some contact. And maybe I think that was impressive to me is the way he finished off that 7th inning with the strikeout, all fastballs, and still had a good fastball to get the bullpen the day off and also get his 14th win.
And throwing 94 late. One out, nobody on for Montero. Now we look back to yesterday, Jesus Montero, and this was a huge swing, Mike.
And take a look at the second home run from Montero, and he has really hit the ball well. But at that time, a 2-run homer for him.
And his numbers since coming up from Tacoma, really impressive.
Well, you can see the numbers right there. The 4 doubles, a couple of home runs, but hitting .333. And in yesterday's game, that 2-run homer, at the time the Mariners were down 2-1. They gave Felix the lead. We talked about it, Felix. He has a lead, especially as he's working his way into the game. He just gets tougher all the time, and that was certainly the case yesterday.
Montero now behind 1-2. Montero has 1 triple in his major league career, and it came off the man he's facing right now, Wei Chen. He's had a handful of them actually in the minors with the Rainiers, but only 1 in the big leagues. The Gold Glove winner. Low throw, but taken by Davis for round number 2. Well, Saturday, August 22nd, it is Robinson Cano bobblehead night when the Mariners host the White Sox. Thanks to Root Sports, the first 20,000 fans will pick up this collectible that is as sweet as Robbie's swing. So stop by Mariners.com for tickets to Robinson Cano bobblehead night. Two outs for Trumbo. Trumbo, a soft pop-up. Jones calling for it, and he's there to make the squeeze. Franklin Gutierrez leading things off in this bottom of the 2nd inning. He yanks a home run just over the wall in left field. And Goody has tied this game up at 1 apiece through 2. Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. A beautiful day here in Seattle and a tough climb. Looking out on the I-90 bridge. As we make our way to the top of the 3rd, Mariners and Orioles all tied up 1 apiece. Franklin Gutierrez, a leadoff homer. In the bottom of the 2nd, his 5th home run this season. So here's Nuno facing Hardy. Hardy batting 8th in the order for Buck Showalter. Healthy hack to make it 0-2. Marte gobbles it up for round number 1. Ribs, Mike. I had ribs for dinner.
And you didn't bring any with you? That looked pretty good.
Ribs. How can you not, right?
How can you not?
If I had known we had those in the ballpark, dinner plans would have been different.
There's always tomorrow.
There's always tomorrow. There's always another game. Ball 1 to Joseph, batting 9th. Joseph last year making his big league debut, doing the catching tonight with Wieters DHing.
Having a good year. You can see 70 games, 10 home runs for him.
Nuno, really nice, pretty quick second inning. Had a couple of 3-ball counts, but after that 24-pitch first, nice to see him face the minimum there in the second.
Now you'd like to see him have a couple of quick innings after the first. You mentioned that the 24 pitches, and I think Lloyd again has to get 5 out of them, and would really like to get 6. And it was interesting. We were talking about Felix yesterday, and I looked down in the dugout a couple of times during the 3rd inning as he hits this fly ball out to left.
Now this is smack towards Gutierrez, but he's there to make the catch. Down number 2.
But you could tell the pitch count of Felix was concerning to Lloyd, because as he was talking about before the game, his bullpen was toast. He had a couple of guys he felt available, Rodney being one, and Carson Smith, and Felix was able to get through 7 to get the ball to those 2 gentlemen who ended up finishing the deal, and the Mariners getting the win. So with Nuno today and Felix doing his job, if he can get through 5 or 6, that would certainly help the pen.
That'd be huge. First 2 sat down, back to the top of the order. It brings in Machado. Hard to believe that Machado just recently, last month, turned 23 years old. So much talk this year around baseball about the rookie class, both in the American League and the National League, and guys like Machado at the elder age of 23 now seem to be forgotten sometimes that they're still young players. He's already been to 2 All-Star games now.
I think the game is in really good shape, Aaron, because of that. So many of the stars in this game are young players. They're going to be around for a long time.
I'm with you. Right now, if you are a young baseball fan watching at home, you are in for a decade run, if not more than that. That's going to be a lot of fun to see around Major League Baseball.
No, you're right. And the Mariners are going to run one of their own out tomorrow in Taiwan Walker.
Machado strikes out. That's the 4th strikeout for Nuno, who once again retires the side in order. We make our way down to the bottom of the 3rd. All tied at 1. I'll try a real triple play. ST Express buses, Link Light Rail, and Sounder trains. Weigh your options at soundtransit.org. 9-1-2 due up for the Mariners. It begins with Mike Zunino. His first at bat tonight. If you go back to the start of 2013, that season the Mariners won 4 of their 6 games against the Orioles, but the last couple of years, including the series earlier this season at Camden Yards, the Mariners have won just 3 of their last 10 against Baltimore. Orioles took 2 games out of 3 at Camden Yards in May. The Mariners scored 4 runs each game. Two and 2. The home runs have been a problem for Chen. You see where he fits in now. He gave up his 23rd homer to Gutierrez to begin the second. Among the leaders in the American League, the 23 home run mark matches his season total from last year.
And you can see it from him tonight. He throws a lot of fastballs. And again, fastball will be anywhere from 91 to 94 miles an hour. And typically he's going to pitch at the top of the zone. And Kyle Seager just missing a home run in the first inning, hit a double before Gutierrez hit his home run in the second. And with the way the Mariners have been swinging the bats lately, hopefully they can do some damage to Chen tonight.
Off the hands, a little flare, drop it in, and it's caught on the slide by Junior Lake. Lake playing in only his 2nd game with the Orioles since the deadline trade.
Had a pretty good break on it. That ball jamming, Mike, as Lake comes in to make the sliding catch. Good look at our last airline Supermo and the slide by Lake out in left field. It's good to see Marte get a couple of hits in yesterday's ball game. Started the game in center field yesterday.
Tonight the Mariners shortstop
picked up his first RBI yesterday, his first stolen base. I think that's something we're going to see more of throughout the rest of this season, watching him run the bases.
And with that in mind, because of what he can do with his speed, getting on base seems to be not the big thing for any rookie hitter and always a challenge. But if he can get on base consistently, he can really change things, can't he?
Oh, he certainly can, and I like the fact that he will try to bunt his way on. Yesterday, the 2 base hits on the ground. I think you're going to see him get a fair share of infield hits.
Marte ahead 2-1. Comes in tight on him. Got to be pretty nice if you're a rookie hitter to come up to the big leagues and work with that guy.
It's nice if you're a veteran hitter and you get to work with that guy.
And yes, indeed, Marte draws ball 4. He'll reach first base, a 1-out walk. It's now time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag RTNW DataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. First walk from Chen as Marte is aboard. There's Kyle Seager, who missed out on home run number 17 by just a couple of inches. Ended up with a double off the right field wall. Seager now with 25 hits over his last 30 games, including tonight, batting in the neighborhood of 300 in that span. Go ahead run at first base.
We were talking about Chen and some of his struggles since the All-Star break. His last 3 outings there, 5 1/3, 3 1/3, 5 innings, 86 pitches, 71, 88. Buck Showalter has not shown a lot of patience with him lately.
Popping up a lot of hits.
Well, as you mentioned, home runs too.
You look at Chen's numbers in the first half, and maybe somewhat quietly, a 2.78 ERA in his first 17 starts this year,
which is really good if half of those starts were in Camden Yards.
Yeah,
that's a great ballpark to hit in.
There goes Marte, a move to first, to second, and Marte's out. Now Chen had an idea that might be coming.
And you'll see it a lot with the left-handed pitcher on the mound, Marte, guessing that he was going to go home. He wasn't trying to read it. First move, he was going to take off, and Chen clearly going to first the entire way. So it's a bit of a guessing game. Chen wins that one. And with that, the Orioles now will put the shift on. Machado, the only one on the left side of the infield. See Scope out in the right outfield grass.
Seager pop up the opposite way. Machado leaning forward to make the catch. To the side, retired in order despite the 1-out walk. And we go to the 4th. Before we get to the action, we'll take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Tonight, game 1 of 3 with Baltimore. Then an off day as the Mariners head to Fenway Park to take on the Red Sox, and then to finish off the road trip with the Rangers. Boy, Boston a chance to finish in last place in their division for the 3rd time in 4 years. This has not been a good year at Fenway Park. Of course, the one year they did not finish in last place, they won the World Series.
Surprising to you this year that they've struggled the way that they have?
It really is, to this degree. But then again, as we'll talk about when we get to Fenway, the Red Sox have really gone against the blueprint that got them to the World Series, which was to dump the big contracts, go back to the homegrown talent. You think about Ramirez in left field and Panda at third base, spent a lot of money on offense, and it hasn't quite come through for him. Here is Parra. Strike 1 of the check swing. What about you? Surprise you?
I thought that they would be better this year. Yes, it has surprised me.
Gutierrez comes in for round number 1.
I mean, to the point to where it seemed that ballpark was built in for Napoli, and we just saw him with the Rangers.
Yeah.
They just traded him away, and he'd been struggling there this year. So you're right. You get a bunch of the veteran guys, and if they start to struggle as a collective group, you're going to have issues.
You take a look at the American League East entering tonight, and the Blue Jays have caught absolute fire. This is not an easy division. The Yankees are trying to hold on to the top spot. They were just swept at home by the Blue Jays and shut out in the final 2 games. And the Blue Jays right now, just a game and a half back, they've won 8 in a row. Red Sox struggling. They just designated for assignment one of the nice guys in baseball, and Justin Masterson. Gutierrez can't get there. Into the corner. Adam Jones, a home run earlier. And he's in at second base. He's halfway to the cycle, 2 for 2.
First baseman, 19, Chris Davis.
And we'll take a look at the swing by Adam Jones. He typically will hit left-handers, and this year is no exception to that. Hitting .313 off of lefties on the year as he picks up his second base hit, both of them, as Aaron mentioned, for extra bases.
Go ahead run in scoring position, 1 out for Chris Davis.
We talk a lot about the Blue Jays and the power and the amount of runs that they score for good reason, Aaron, but adding David Price in that rotation, they're starting to pitch a lot better too.
Here's the amazing thing with the Blue Jays. The pitching was the issue. Since the calendar turned over to the month of August, they are first in the majors in runs. They are first in baseball in earned run average at 1.87. So they've got everything cooking.
And that's the reason why they've won 8 in a row.
It's impressive.
Game and a half back of the Yankees now.
0-2 to Davis, as he has a chance here to try to bring in the go-ahead run with 1 out.
I'm still surprised that the A's sent Donaldson to Toronto.
Probably a lot of people, especially in the Bay Area, are surprised by that.
What an impact he has had.
He leads baseball in runs batted in. He's got 83. He and Price were just named co-American League Players of the Week, and he's under Blue Jays control for years to come, and that's the big thing.
That's the big thing.
Through the right side, a base hit. Jones steams it at third. He's being waved in. Cruz to throw home. Not in time. Orioles have taken the lead. Another run batted in for Chris Davis, his 81st of the season.
Well, Baltimore has done a good job this year hitting with runners in scoring position. As you take a look at the swing by Davis, gets a fastball in the middle of the plate. Hitting .281 as a team with runners in scoring position. Strong, accurate throw from Cruz, but too much speed with Adam Jones at second base.
Davis has been such a fine run producer for the Orioles this year that it extends his hitting streak now to 8 games. He brings Wieters to the plate. Mike, it's always amazing looking at Wieters as Zunino will pay a visit. Just his pure height for his position, and he's won a couple of Gold Gloves.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's something that we've appreciated over the last few years, watching him catch. And for his size, as you mentioned, the ability to give a low target and be able to frame pitches low, because it has to be difficult for him, but he's excellent at it. There you can see 6'5", 240 pounds, switch hitter. And we mentioned it at the beginning of the broadcast. For Nuno, in his last outing, his last start, he threw 62 pitches, already at 67 in this one. But Lloyd McClendon today really wasn't putting a lot of limitations on Nuno.
He said he's good to go. 100 pitches.
Yeah.
Open for 5 or 6 innings. Young fan will go home happy. And a base hit. Davis trots into second base. Wieters 1 for 2 tonight. And 3 straight base runners, 3 straight hits with 1 out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. So you had the double by Jones and the RBI single by Davis, and now Wieters a base hit. 2 on, 1 out. And it brings in Jonathan Schoop. Lloyd hoping that Nuno can give him some innings tonight, at least 5.
Well, getting a double play right here would certainly help him. Started him off with a changeup, came back with a couple of fastballs. See if he goes back to the changeup. You get him to roll over on a pitch, get a ground ball, get out of the inning.
He had sat down 8 in a row before the double from Jones. A little too far in, 2-2. Davis at second, Wieters at first. Almost the same spot. Junior Lake on deck. Here comes Austin Jackson to make the catch, route number 2, and the runners stay put. White starts to get loose. Two outs and 2 on. Orioles have taken the lead here in the 4th. Lake coming to Baltimore at the deadline, a 1-for-1 swap for hard throwing reliever Tommy Hunter, who's now with the Cubs. Lake last year played in over 100 games with Chicago, did not fare all that well offensively. He hit .211. Didn't see much time in the big leagues with the Cubs this season. Nuno ahead. The 1-2. And it's 2-2.
And the next pitch will be 80 for Nuno. He's had pretty good command when he's missed. He hasn't missed by much. Unfortunately, it's added to his pitch count.
White throwing. Trying to get out of a bit of a jam. And he does. 5th strikeout for Nuno. He strands 2. The Orioles grab a run, and they take the lead as we go to the bottom of the 4th. leading 2-1. We take a look now at our lows. Never stop improving. And how about these numbers? You go back to the start of last season, and no player in the majors has homered more times than Nelson Cruz. Mike Trout, Stanton. Boy, you wonder where Stanton would be if he could avoid the disabled list last year and this year. And a couple of Blue Jays, Bautista and Donaldson. But Cruz, nobody homering more since the start of last year. Of course, Nelson last season leading baseball with 40. And it is Cruz to begin things at the bottom of the fourth, trying to extend a hitting streak to 20 games. Boy, dead red on first pitch.
He hasn't missed a pitch in that location much over the last 19 games, I can tell you that.
Chen got away with one. Entering tonight, Cruz leading baseball in hits. 4th in OPS, 7th in average. The last major leaguer to have a 9-game extra base hit streak, you have to go back to David Ortiz in 2013. Right side and through, base hit. 20 straight games for Nelson Cruz. Parra bobbles for a moment. And Cruz, Mike, just keeps on marching along.
And we've seen a lot of this year. It's one of the main reasons why he's been able to put a hitting streak together is he's not afraid to hit the ball the other way and picks up a base hit with 2 strikes. Cutting his swing down a little bit, having a little bit of fun with Davis. Again, teammates last year. But we've seen a lot of that from him, Aaron, hitting the ball the other way. And I was talking to him on Friday afternoon. He talked about that. He said with 2 strikes, it's something that he's worked on, wanted to get more hits, hit for a higher average, and that is happening this year for him.
That conversation, which we played a snippet of before first pitch, I thought one of the best things that he said was so obvious, but it doesn't get talked about enough, and that is, he said in so many words, I led baseball with 40 home runs last year. There's 162 games in a season. You're not getting a home run every single night. And he doesn't try to. And I think that's the beauty of Nelson Cruz.
Well, I think the thing about it is I had a chance to talk to him. I think it was for close to 15 minutes when we were doing the interview. Talking about that situation, I thought the thing that was telling about it, here's a guy that led the league in home runs last year, has 33 this year. And talking to him about, and we've talked about it this year during games, when he gets late into games, I know there are times when he's taking chances to try to hit the ball out of the ballpark, and it's because that is something that he is aware of, that reason why he's in the lineup. And he talked about that. He said, look, of course I try at times, but I had over 600 at bats. You're not always, in fact, most of the time, you're not going to be able to do it. And I thought that for him, that was great for him to say that, because it gives you an idea how difficult it is with over 600 at bats to hit 40 home runs at this level. And that led the league. And there are a lot of guys that try to hit home runs all the time,
and they end up striking out all the time.
They're not doing it at the rate that he does, and he still is not able to get it done most of the time, as he said. But his awareness of what he means to this team and what his job is, to be able to hit coming into this game, and to be able to hit 325, knowing that that's part of your job, to hit it out of the ballpark and to really give away some at bats, trying to do it is exceptional.
2-1 to Gutierrez. A 20-game hitting streak for Cruz, now a career best. He had a 19-game streak back in 2010 with Texas. This is the longest streak of Nelly's career. One out, one on. Cruz represents the tying run. And the count even on Gutierrez.
Gutierrez hitting his 5th home run of the year, his first time up hit it out into the Orioles bullpen. Powering.
And get some chasing a fastball. Well, earlier Lloyd had a chance to talk to us a little bit, comparing Nelson Cruz and one of the best, Miguel Cabrera.
I think it's very similar. You know, when you have power hitters that get on these type of streaks, they put up big numbers. You know, it's just not base hits there. The power numbers are up, the RBIs are up. They're doing damage, and that's what you like to see.
Cruz talked about how he used Miguel as a nice pattern for changing his swing during different situations, whether it's runners in scoring position or 2 outs. How have you seen Nelson adapt to the situation?
I think he does just that. You know, the bigger the moment, the more he slows things down. He knows when to take a base hit, you know, when to look for a pitch to drive. He understands who's out there and what they're trying to do to him.
Pretty intelligent hitter is the point.
Great, and it's a great point, and it's something that I talked to Edgar Martinez about when he was first hired as the Mariners hitting coach, and hitting with runners in scoring position. And Nelson has not had an issue with that all year. Most of the year he's been upwards of that 330 mark. But Edgar was talking about in those situations, cutting your swing down a little bit. Just try to square the ball up and not worry about any particular direction. Let it travel, put the barrel on it, and take your chances from there, because so many times hitters, especially early in counts, will take the big swing, miss a pitch, and then major league pitchers will go to work off the edges of the plate and make their jobs a lot tougher. And Nelson's certainly aware of that. And he was one of the best at it. One of the other things with Edgar that I've noticed, and I like it a lot, is especially here at home, it can change on the road, obviously, because you don't know what the dugout situation is going to be like. But he stands right there where the top step is, and the guy that is in the hole getting ready to go on deck is always standing next to him. And there's these subtle little conversations going on throughout the game, and I like that a lot.
And play to Hardy. Cruz stranded. We go to the 5th. Orioles lead it by a run.
Recent trip up to the Kenai River was something cool to go fishing. I got nothing on my friend Colin because he has just returned from 30 ballparks. He started and finished in Seattle. And then we've got Carson, who got a foul ball today. Well done during batting practice. A lot of balls flying out. And Marissa is likely solo this evening as the fellows prepare for a guys' night out. Remember to use the hashtag #WhereIRoot on social media. Guys, back upstairs to you.
All right, all good stuff. Thank you, Angie. J.J. Hardy begins things for the Orioles here in their half of the 5th. And Nuno quickly ahead 0-2. Seager to his left. Out number 1. Second ground ball out off the bat of J.J. Hardy. Buy early and save when you purchase single game tickets at Mariners team stores. There's no service charge, plus you'll receive 10% off all regular priced merchandise that day. So gear up when you buy tickets at any one of the 5 Mariners team store locations. One out, base is empty for the number 9 hitting catcher Caleb Joseph.
Aaron, one of the things I was looking at today with the Baltimore Orioles and their offense that I thought was a little bit strange. See this fly ball out to Austin Jackson is they are 6th in average, 6th in runs scored. They are 4th in home runs, 5th in slugging, but only 10th in on base because they're 13th in walks. They're quality hitters. They're for the most part, they're veteran guys now, but they don't walk much.
That's a good point.
Typically, when you see clubs that are up that high in average, their walk totals at least will be in the middle of the pack, but they are 13th in walks. Makes me think that they're a pretty aggressive club.
Speaking of being aggressive, something they are not aggressive on the base paths. They just don't steal bases at all.
Well, you could understand why in their ballpark they don't want to give away outs, especially with the sluggers that they have in their lineup. But they also have some pretty good athletes on their club. Machado being one. Adam Jones can certainly run.
I think that's one of the surprising things. You think of Jones as truly one of the best athletes in the game, and yet his stolen base numbers are almost non-existent. He just doesn't run on the base paths. And only 31 steals for the Orioles this season. 29th in baseball. This plugs the gap. And Machado making his way to second base. He was a doubles machine back in 2013. He had 51. He led the American League. And he's in at second base with 2 outs.
Pretty good fastball in the outside corner. Has it down at the knees, but Machado staying with it. Able to hit it into the gap. You see him take his head right to the ball right there. I think Nuno trying to get the ground ball, but because he stayed with that pitch, it didn't pull off of it, was able to line it in the gap. Whitebait was up last inning, back up, getting loose again in the pen for the Mariners.
That's now a 7-game hitting streak for Machado. First pitch strike to Parra.
Talked about it earlier. Baltimore hitting .281 coming into the game today with runners in scoring position. So far 1 for 3 tonight. It's interesting, Aaron, when you were talking about Adam Jones and not stealing a lot of bases. We also have seen that with Trout, a guy that stole a lot of bases when he first broke in and now hardly runs. And I wonder if that's something that Socha with the Angels and Trout.
Parra lines this to right field, and Cruz able to hold on. Parra out number 3. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It'll be Montero. And then Trumbo, Mike Zunino due up as well when we go to the last of the 5th. could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Buy Jack in the Box if the Mariners win. Mention Mariners for a free Jumbo Jack with purchase tomorrow at Jack in the Box. By Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And as you might imagine, this time of the year, a gorgeous night here from Seattle, as Jesus Montero will lead things off for the Mariners' fifth. Mike, one thing that really deserves a conversation with Mariners infield coach Chris Woodward, and of course first base coach as well. Montero's since being recalled, and we've really had a chance to see him play some extended time at first base. He's looked really very good at first base, considering not a position that he came up playing, and it's really a pretty new position.
Well, I think that there's a couple of things with that, Aaron. We had a chance to see him quite a bit in spring training, and you could tell that he just wasn't moving around naturally at first base, which you could understand being a catcher most of his life. But I think that given the fact that he's lost the weight that he's lost, he's worked extremely hard on his agility. It is shown, and that's just a lot of hard work. You have to give him a lot of credit as he goes down swinging right here. But the one thing that I think that is similar between what he used to do catching and going to first is his hands. You have to have soft hands to catch and play first, obviously, and that is something that has benefited him. But he certainly is moving around much better. We've seen him make some pretty good plays over it.
Really have.
Yeah.
One out, nobody on. Just a second strikeout for Chen. He struck out 2 of the last 3 men that he's faced. And now looks at Trumbo. Lloyd said today that he's, in so many words, given a message to Trumbo, and that is, don't worry about the strikeouts. As the quality of at-bats from Trumbo recently been to the liking of Lloyd, but he really wants to see Trumbo get the power that we all know that he has. And he said that he doesn't mind when Trumbo swings and misses, as long as he swings and misses with bad intentions, as Lloyd said, which was a pretty good way to put it.
No, I like that. Well, we've seen from Trumbo, and Mariner fans have too, from his days when he was with the Angels, and we saw him all the time, and the amount of power that he had and the damage that he could do. But I also think, as a hitter, sometimes this is ground ball out to short. Hardy's able to handle it. I think that sometimes, Aaron, in this game, you get so lost as a hitter that you almost have to start over, and that's where I think that Mark has gone. He went from a point where he was having a really hard time. You're talking about striking out, of putting the ball in play and just being lost, to where he had to start somewhere. And I think moving over to right field, hitting the ball into right field and working his way in the middle of the field, then we started to see the doubles, and now hopefully the home runs will come. But you have to get yourself back together again, and it's difficult at this level on a daily basis out there, and you feel that you're exposed. And that's not the case with him anymore. He's on a pretty good run right now, so I can see where Lloyd is saying, okay, you're on a pretty good run, average is manageable, go ahead and take some chances.
Here's Zunino with 2 outs. Now Zunino almost dropped one into about medium depth left field at his first at bat, but Junior Lake made a sliding catch.
Nuno probably done for the night. He was able to get the 5 innings that Lloyd wanted out of him, but 94 pitches, probably it for him.
And Zunino caught looking. Borderline pitch there. The side sat down in order for the second time tonight from Wei and Chen. of the 6th inning. We take a look now at our Big Fish Casino big catch, and Adam Jones in the 1st inning. A mighty swing with 2 outs, a home run out towards center field. Mike, how do you grade this one? This was somehow, by the way, he got the hat back later.
Well, he did, but I think you have to give him some credit. You see the baseball in the hat.
Yeah.
So
precision.
Yeah, well, he was able to make the adjustment on the catch. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to hold on to the bill of his cap. You think he was able to get the baseball, though?
Ooh.
We know he had the hat back.
I mean, you can get a hat anywhere, right?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if he was able to get the baseball.
Jones due up to begin things in the top of the 6th. Nuno done for the night. And Mike, the final line.
5 innings, which they wanted that out of him, and they were able to get it 5 hits, couple of earned runs for him. Didn't walk anybody. 5 strikeouts, 94 pitches, 64 of those for strikes. Whitepage's going to take over 6 appearances for him. High ERA, 7 1/3, 6 strikeouts, only 1 walk, giving up a couple of home runs. A couple of home runs in Colorado. I believe both of them were on his off-speed pitches. He looks as if he has a pretty good fastball. He'll be 93 to 95 with some run to it. He can get it in on the hands of the righties.
Jones halfway to the cycle tonight. Jones going to the All-Star game this year for the 5th time, his 4th year in a row. And he cues this to Marte. And easy out number 1. I'll stick around after the game for Mariners post-game presented by Delta Airlines. We'll have reaction from the clubhouse. We'll hear from Lloyd McClendon. Vidal Nuno, tonight's starter, who went 5 innings. And his 2nd start since taking over for J. Happ. All that coming up after the game tonight. One out for Chris Davis. And Mike, what do you make? This is a big league mustache Davis is rocking. we have not seen this from Davis before, I don't think.
I can tell you're very impressed.
How can he not be? Punch to center, turns Jackson a little bit. Jackson can do nothing about it. 2nd home run tonight for the Orioles. Watch out. Hang on. Safety first.
30th home run on the year for Davis. Gets a first pitch fastball at 96 miles an hour. I think another fan in center field lost their hat again. 96 miles an hour and turns it around. Let's take another look at the hat as you look at our Alaska Airlines Super Mo, and there it is.
Boy, 2 hats, 2 fans.
You like numbers there. What are the chances of that? Almost in the same spot.
It might be the first time in the history of Safeco Field, Mike. Same spot, different fan, though. That was the same fan. That's something else.
2nd RBI for Davis. Broken around with a single, so now 82 RBIs.
A lot of concern out there. A ball and a strike to Wieters. Batting left-handed for the first time tonight. Trying to do a trade here of some kind. Trying to figure this one out. Well, never let it be said that the ushers here at Safeco Field don't go the extra mile. Otherwise, there could be a graveyard of hats back there over the fence. And there he goes. Hand delivered. Now Baltimore entering tonight 4th in the American League in home runs. They've hit 2. They have a 3-1 lead. And it's been those two.
Mariners are 5th in the league in home runs, and they have one by Franklin Gutierrez.
You look at the top home run parks this year in baseball, and really not surprising in the American League. Rogers Center and Park Ballpark, but really more than anything, that lineup. And hit home runs in any ballpark. And then Camden Yards in the National League, Miller Park, home of the Brewers.
Houston has to be.
Houston is up there, you're right. Wieters, ball 4. We'll take a look at our CenturyLink What's Next. We'll hit the air at 6:30 tomorrow night in advance of our 7:10 first pitch. Taijuan Walker takes the ball. He opposed by Chris Tillman. And the trade, the deal complete. On Cubs hat? I mean, I guess you could wear that to a Mariners game. And getting now this is nice. You get the official piece of paper saying that you caught that foul ball, or that home run in this case. It's all documented, fully authenticated. Still question the Cubs hat though. Looks like he's in good company. Scope breaks his bat a little bit. Over to second, on to first in time. Double play. And that'll get the Mariners out of the top of the 6th. We've had some souvenirs here tonight inside Safeco Field. Adam Jones, a home run earlier. And right here, Chris Davis taking a Cubs hat away from a fan. And this time, it was Jones in the first home run of the first inning. Inning. See the gentleman on the left now back in the shot as he had the catch of the Adam Jones home run. The Cubs fan had the catch of the Davis home run, both in the ball caps. Marte beginning things for the Mariners.
And so far for Chen, it's exactly what we were talking about at the start of the game for him. Gives up a share of home runs, 23 home runs this year, but Not a lot of hits. The Mariners with just 3 hits through 5. He's only walked 1 batter.
Marte pops the bunt back. You know, Mike, you were talking about the fastball percentages for Chin in upwards of over 60%, close to 70. Was that right?
Yes.
Seems like some pitchers can get away with that better than others, and Chin's fastball has shown more life than maybe we remember at 94.
Well, the thing that he'll do is he'll change speeds on his fastball. We've seen it 91 to 94 today. And typically when the velocity of it is down, it's because he's throwing a 2-seamer down in the zone. But typically his good fastball is 4-seamer. He wants to throw it up at the zone. He wants to get it right towards that borderline area. And for hitters, it's so difficult to get to that pitch. And you mentioned the life. There's another one right there. Lazy fly ball out to right. Again, right at the top of the zone. We've shown the tracer, the EQC tracer, and where his fastball has been when he's getting the fly ball out. So they've been at the top of the zone. And we saw Kyle Seager just miss a home run.
Yeah.
And there's that pitch. Right in that area. And then, of course, the home run by Gutierrez was probably more towards the belt tie, but that's what makes him difficult.
He's been effective so far.
And hitters, Aaron, on that high fastball, especially if you're able to throw in that 94, 93, 94, 95 mile an hour area, it's difficult to get to it. You're trained it more towards the top of the knees and to the belt. And when the ball starts to get above the belt, you really have to fight hard to try to get the barrel to it. It's a lot easier just to drop the bat down in the zone than it is to fight, keep it level through the top of the zone, which Kyle was able to do in his first at bat.
Right side, and it's snared there by Scope. 2 outs. Follow the Mariners wherever you are with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment and any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, statcasts, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet. Two quick outs for Chen in the bottom of the 6th. Now facing Nelson Cruz, who singled into right field in the 4th inning. Now a 20-game hitting streak for Cruz, a career best.
We talked about it with Cruz playing with the Orioles last year, and Buck Showalter. It's rare to see this, but he has the shift on with the right-handed hitter. And you can take a look at the defensive alignment. Chris Davis, the only one on the right side of the infield.
And the funny thing about that is Nelson has talked to us about how last year in September he was shifted against by teams like the Yankees and the Red Sox, and he added about 15 points to his average going the opposite way.
See, they changed it a little bit with 2 strikes. Nelson actually getting a base hit to right field his last time up. I think it goes back to what we were talking about with Nelson earlier, too. Early in the count, he's up there trying to do some damage with 2 strikes. Depending on the situation, he will cut his swing down, and that's the reason why Buck Showalter, manager of the Orioles, changed the defense with 2 strikes.
Pulls it on the ground to Hardy. And a very quick bottom of the 6th spun by Wei-Yin Chen. We're off to the 7th. Gorgeous night from inside Safeco Field. difference of the game here tonight. And it's Chris Davis. He's driven in 2 runs. First one on the ground, Mike, and then the other one left the ballpark.
And for Davis, now 82 RBIs on the year. This right here, the 30th home run on the year as he goes out to right center field.
Nuno went 5 innings in the start tonight, then turned things over to Guaipe. He's back up on the mound to start things in the 7th. Junior Lake, a couple of strikeouts. One looking, one swinging. Now for the Orioles, tonight marks the final leg of a 9-game West Coast road trip. They've alternated wins and losses so far on the trip, which began in Oakland and made its way to Anaheim. They lost in walk-off fashion yesterday against the Angels. It was David Murphy with the game-winning hit. That was their second extra inning game on the road trip for the Orioles. Seager charging by the bag for out number 1. Catch the debut of Seahawks All Access this Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. Get exclusive player interviews and Seahawks stories you can't find anywhere else. Unfortunately, due to NFL restrictions, Seahawks All Access is only available for viewers in the Seattle and Portland markets. For local programming schedule, just visit rootsports.com. See CenturyLink right over there on the right. The recent home of Taylor Swift, soon to be back with the Seahawks soon enough. 1 out, nobody on for Hardy. Hardy has won each of the last 3 Gold Glove awards in the American League. And he goes around here to make it 1-1. When you think about the Mariners bullpen this year and the different faces we have seen back there and ones that have either been optioned down or traded away or called up, I figured this last month and change for Guaipe, a pretty good chance to see what he has. He's shown some impressive stuff so far this year at times.
Well, he's topped out at 96 miles an hour, and again, he has pretty good run to his fastball. I think they would definitely like to see him have better command of his slider. But you're right, Aaron, and you look at the Mariners bullpen from where it was last year. On the left side, you have Beimel out there, and from the right side, Tom Wilhelmsen and Rodney. Of course, Carson Smith at the end of the season. But a lot of the guys are no longer here, or they're hurt, or a lot of different things.
Still waiting a little bit on the timetable for Charlie Furbush. He threw a bullpen today, which was good news. At the time when the media spoke with Lloyd wasn't quite sure what the results of that bullpen happened to be. In other words, how Charlie was feeling afterwards. But hopefully soon enough, a brief rehab assignment and the lefty can be back in the bullpen.
Well, it's one of those things with Charlie too. I think that it's been such a long time, and there are a number of games, and I know, Aaron, you and I have talked about this, where there's situations where Charlie would be in the game and was having a fantastic year for the Mariners, and you have to bring other guys in with less experience or the ability of Charlie. So he has certainly been missed. It'll be good to have him back out in the pen healthy.
Bicep injury for Furbush. Two balls and a strike to Joseph, the number 9 hitting catcher. Orioles getting a couple of solo homers. Adam Jones, Chris Davis, who's red hot right now. Davis also chipping in with an RBI single. Two outs, nobody on, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a full count. Machado would be next. And it gets him swinging. Off-speed pitch there from Guaype, and he retires the side in order. Time to stretch. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Mariners down by 2.
Oh, here we go. Let's go back.
Your body, how about stretching your mind as you consider how Washington's lottery win would change your bucket list? Play today. Well, this shot from earlier tonight, looking out from Beacon Hill. What a gorgeous night here in Seattle. And it's funny, Mike, talking with some of the members of the Orioles, whether players, staff, whatever it might be, and they're so used to the mugginess, the humidity of Baltimore. They come here to the great Pacific Northwest, and this is just God's country, and they're loving the temperatures here.
It has been that way for us. When I first came to the big leagues, guys always enjoy coming to this town.
Now you got it all. Beautiful ballpark, fantastic playing surface, and a gorgeous night. What else could you ask for? As Robinson Cano will lead things off at the bottom of the 7th. Still facing tonight's starter, Wei-Yin Chen. Easy play for Hardy on the first pitch. Brings in Franklin Gutierrez, and we take a look at our Seattle City Light power play, and it was one big swing from this man, Franklin Gutierrez, Mike.
Well, Franklin has been the offense tonight, back in the lineup after being sick. Missed a few games, but in there tonight, and it pays off for the Mariners back in the 2nd inning when he homered his 5th home run since rejoining the club.
See what he can do here with 1 out and nobody on. There's no doubt this year for the Orioles, if they can get into that wild card mix right now, 3 games behind the Angels, the Blue Jays holding the top wild card spot. A big reason why will be because of their defense. We just saw Hardy. I mentioned it earlier. He's won the last 3 Gold Gloves in the American League at shortstop. It's not just him. You look at Machado at third base, a former shortstop. He won the Platinum Glove in 2013 for the best overall defender in the American League. Parra, they just acquired him from the Brewers. He's won 2 Gold Gloves out at right field.
One of the stronger throwing arms.
Saw that earlier. Then you got Jones.
Same thing.
4 Gold Gloves there.
Cover a lot and a great arm.
And then not catching tonight, but Matt Wieters He's won a couple behind the plate.
Well, a big reason why they are #1 in fielding in the American League. And it's not just a fielding percentage where they're making all the routine plays. They will take a lot of hits away from them, too.
Now, Chin's been on a roll.
And we talked about it with his fastball. He's been right around 65% of his pitches, his fastball today, and he's had a good one, 91 to 94.
Last base runner was Nelson Cruz when he singled to right. That extended his hitting streak to a career best 20 games. Doesn't seem like we've seen Chen throw that curveball for a strike all that often, Mike, but we've seen him drop it down to 69 miles an hour. That one's 73.
Yeah, he'll mix it up with his slider. He'll throw them both right around 12%.
He gets Gutierrez swinging.
We'll take a look at the last pitch. There's the breaking ball, 84 miles an hour on the outside corner. A lot of his fastballs tonight at the top of the strike zone.
Now, for a fly ball pitcher, we've seen Chen keep the ball on the ground a lot tonight. 7 ground ball outs. And before that strikeout, the last 3 outs were recorded on the grass. And maybe another barehand play, and it is in time to get Jackson. What a fine play by Machado, just singing his praises a few moments ago. And how about this one, Mike?
Well, just a great play by Machado. We talked about the great throwing arm, and here you go. It's about as good as you can do it.
The man who just made that fine play to end the bottom of the 7th. Machado a double back in the 5th inning to extend his hitting streak to now 7 games. Pops up the first pitch. Zunino sheds the mask for out number 1. Well, kids head back to school in style with the Mariners backpack. Thanks to Boeing, it's free to all youngsters on Sunday, August 23rd, as part of Salute to Kids Day right here at Safeco Field. Pick up tickets for the entire family now at Mariners, any Mariners team store, or at Mariners.com. Quick start to the top of the 8th for Guaipe. That'll bring in Parra.
3rd inning of work for Guaipe. He's thrown 30 pitches. Left-hander Rob Rasmussen getting loose in the pen for the Mariners. And there is Rob. Good fastball. Maybe 94 miles an hour with his fastball, mixing a slider with an occasional changeup.
Austin Jackson tracking for out number 2. Support those who protect our West. Now until August 31st, a portion of every purchase of Coors Banquet will be donated to the Wildland Fire Foundation. Learn more about the foundation at the Protect Our West program at WFFoundation.org. 2 outs for Adam Jones. A home run and a double, grounded out to short his last time up. Jones got off to such a phenomenal start this year. In the month of April, he hit .400. That was the top average in the American League. But since May 1st, Jones batting .250. You can see the damage he's done tonight. Jones, no doubt one of the prolific bubblegum chewers in the game. Right up there with Terry Francona.
Terry has to be number 1.
It has to be. Oh, there's no doubt. He has his own bucket, you'd have to think. Seager near the line, stays with it. Number 3. What a stretch there by Montero. Fine play. Seager over to first base. And speaking of Montero, it will be Jesus to begin things in the bottom of the 8th. He'll be followed by Trumbo and Zunino. Exciting prizes. We'll be posting questions and want to hear from you, so be sure to watch and follow us on Twitter at rootsports_NW. For giveaway rules, visit us at rootsports.com. Our CenturyLink What's Next? Chris Tillman, Taijuan Walker. Like you think about Taijuan this year, it's been an interesting season for Taijuan, really some ups and downs in its first full season, but we have seen some glimpses of just absolute greatness, and be interested to see when the Mariners go to Peoria next year, hearing from Taijuan what he made of this season after he gets a full winter to reflect on things, because he's been through a lot this year, there's no doubt.
He has been, and I think, you know, there's a certain time in your career, and you never know when it's going to happen, but it happened even with Felix here, where when he has his best stuff and he's able to command the strike zone, it's almost unhittable. It's being able to manage games when you don't feel particularly well, or you don't have the good fastball, or maybe your command is a little bit off, and being able to make adjustments off of that. And I think we're starting to see that from Tyler.
2-2 on Montero.
But it's pretty exciting to start thinking forward on where he's going to be next year, as you mentioned, or the year after that. Only 22 years old.
Yeah, that's the point. It's incredible. Full count. You think about that complete game one hitter that he threw in Minneapolis. If not for an error behind him late, he would have gotten through that under 100 pitches. Double-digit strikeouts. That was absolutely dominant. Down on strikes. My Chin still got the velocity going on that fastball. 94.
94 miles an hour, well located right on the inside corner. And he's at 103 pitches. He's worked through 8 innings just 4 times this year.
He sat down 13 in a row now.
His high for a pitch count is 108.
Britton getting loose in the bullpen. Not an easy man to face. Now the Mariners have not had a base runner touch second base since Gutierrez went through his home run trot to begin the second inning.
That was a double by Kyle Seager with 1 out in the first. Mariners 0 for 2 tonight, so not many opportunities.
He would have felt pretty good after the first couple of innings. He had Seager off the wall, nearly a home run, and then the homer by Goody, but not much sense at all.
You just saw the numbers of the Mariners in their record. When they score 4 or more, 3 or less, dramatic difference.
Trumbo stays alive.
Rob Rasmussen continues to throw in the Mariner pen, so it looks like he will pitch tonight.
Full count to Trumbo. Zunino standing on deck.
Now a season high 110 pitches, 70 strikes.
Trumbo gets the walk, a 1-out walk.
And Buck Showalter quickly out of the dugout.
He's not wasting any time.
No, he's going to make a pitching change. Again, a season high in pitches with 111.
So that'll be it for Chen, who's pitched very well. Retired 13 in a row before that, a walk to Trumbo. We'll step aside. Britton coming on.
He really did. It really pitched to the scouting report. A lot of fastballs, a lot of high fastballs. He had a good one tonight, topping out at 95 miles an hour. Was consistently in the 94-mile-an-hour range. Mixed in a few changeups, sliders, and curveballs, but for the most part, it was his fastball that caused the problems this evening. We did give up the one home run to Franklin Gutierrez, but the Mariners were able to just get 3 hits off of him. If you look at his line, 7 in the third, 3 hits, 1 earned run, a couple of walks, 5 strikeouts. He threw 111 pitches, 70 of those for strikes. Zach Britton going to take over, 27 saves in 28 opportunities, a 1.62 ERA, 50 strikeouts, over 44 and a third. Opponents hitting just 201. He's given up a couple of home runs this year.
So interesting move here. Britton, the closer, out for a 5-out save last night, or yesterday rather, in that 11-inning game in Anaheim. The bullpen for the Orioles really got chewed up a little bit. It had to pitch 6 innings of the 11. Britton did not pitch in that game yesterday. Trumbo stays put. But you don't normally see the closer come out in a situation like this, but we've seen it with the Mariners. When the bullpen gets spent, you have to do some things like this sometimes.
You do, and you don't see many left-handed relievers that have the ability to throw 97, 98. And I think that the other part about it, Aaron, is you have Miller on the bench for the Mariners. He's been a hot hitter. Of course, Seth Smith, one of the best pinch hitters going. So I think that Buck wants to stay with the left-handers and try to keep those guys on the bench. For Chen, 111 pitches tonight. That's a season high, his career high. Back in 13, he threw 119, so he was at his limit.
That's it for Zunino. 2 outs.
Back to the top of the lineup for the Mariners. Marte going to step in. He's 0 for 2. He did walk back in the 3rd inning.
Two outs for Marte. He's a tying run. We're talking about that walk-off loss for the Orioles in 11 yesterday. And we saw Jeff Bannister intentionally walk Cruz and Cano. And for Buck Showalter, he intentionally walked Pujols and Trout to face Murphy, and Murphy stung the Orioles and ended up winning the game for the Angels. But how often do you see 2 guys intentionally walked, let alone close together in games?
You don't, and I can understand it when you talk about Cano and Cruz, how hot they have been lately, and of course Pujols and Trout in the years that they're having. But I feel that you really put your pitcher in a tough situation. A lot of times they have to throw strikes early, get too much of the plate that gives the batter an opportunity to hurt him.
That worked for Bannister, did not work for Showalter. Britton, an all-star this year, a former starter. He then was transferred to the bullpen and then a closer. Last year, Britton's first season as the Orioles closer had nearly 40 saves, 37 on the season. Enters tonight with 27. High chopper. This bounces all the way to left field. Marte keeps the line moving. He's aboard. His first hit tonight, reaching for the 2nd time. It'll bring in Kyle Seager.
Not sure if it hits the plate or out in front of the plate, but he bounces it over, right out in front of the plate, bounces it over the third baseman's head. Machado.
So Marte now represents the tying run. He's at first base, and Seager, the go-ahead run coming in here Had the double back in the first, a couple of outs since. First pitch strike, 98. And we've talked at great length about Seager's success this year against lefties. Would have been very impressive, but that's not your average lefty.
No, it's not. And it's late in the ball game, and typically left-handers are going to be 90 to 94 in that area. At 97, 98 miles an hour, it's a different game.
And Seager behind 0-2.
Well, he's in for a battle now, and you'd certainly like to see him get on base. You have Nelson Cruz waiting on deck.
Has had some success against Britain. And he reaches for it way outside. Off-speed pitch that time for the lefty. And Britain strands a couple. We go to the ninth. Rasmussen coming on. Game one of this three-game series. Well, this Wednesday's schedule an afternoon meeting at the corner of Edgar and Dave, and head right here to gorgeous Safeco Field for a Mariners midweek matinee. First pitch at 12:40. Make the ballpark your conference room by spending the day here at the ballpark and grabbing tickets at Mariners.com. Wrapping up the series Wednesday afternoon against the Orioles. Final meeting between these two teams this season, as a new pitcher for the mound, or pardon me, on the mound for the Mariners is Rob Rasmussen.
Take a look at his numbers. Really like to see him bounce back. He had a tough one the other day against the Rangers in the 11th inning. Gave up a bunch of hits in that one. Again, talented left-hander, good fastball and a slider. Let's see him bounce back as the Mariners have to shift on and Davis hitting. Kyle Seager on the right side of the infield. Marte out at shortstop.
Well, Davis has been on an absolute tear this month, including what he's done tonight. He's now hit 6 home runs in 9 games in August with a dozen RBIs. Driven in 2 tonight, went deep in the 6th. Davis, a free agent at the end of the season. And home run earlier tonight, his 30th, and a real nice bounce back season after struggling last year and dealing with an oblique injury. Into the shift, And an easy soft ground ball for round number 1. Seager over at second base. How about Guape tonight, Mike? Gave Lloyd 3 innings, gave up another 1 home run off Davis, but pitched well.
I thought he did. Again, gave up a couple of home runs in Colorado. So you have some young relievers, Guape being one of them, Rasmussen another one. But I thought that he threw the ball well, was able to give some innings to Lloyd, which is the most important thing when you know that Nuno's going and you're probably going to use your bullpen. But if Rasmussen can get through this inning in good shape, the bullpen should be fine and ready to go for tomorrow. You have Taijuan Walker. You have to feel a lot better about things if you can get out of this inning.
0-1 to Wieters. Look inside the bullpen.
Rasmussen, we talked about it against the Rangers, came into the game in the 11th inning, did not record an out, 6 hits, 6 earned runs in that one. He hit for 31 pitches. That's about as rough as it gets for a young pitcher. I like that Lloyd is able to get him right back out there, so hopefully he'll get things turned around and put that behind him.
And it's not his day, but we've seen good stuff in limited appearances from Rasmussen. If the trend holds true for Wieters, pretty good chance we see him behind the plate in tomorrow night's game. Scope on deck. To left center, and he plunks it in for a base hit. Wieters' 3rd time on base tonight, his 2nd hit. Singled back in the 4th, a 1-out base runner.
Well, he gets himself into a good count. 3-1, fastball 93 miles an hour. It is on the outside corner, but because it's a 3-1 count, he's aggressive on the fastball. Lines it in the left center.
First pitch strike to Scope. Cano to first. They'll get 1 out. Now time now for our T-Mobile Data Strong fan photo of the game. Let's check it out. You can see Alex there. Coors Field. Always good to have the Mariners following on the road for the last road trip. The best, Mike, is when Felix is pitching on the road and there is always a minor section of Kings Court.
Yeah, no, it's great. But a few Mariner fans when we were in Colorado.
Two outs, Wieters at first, and Junior Lake at the plate. Now, whatever company got the contract for the Kings Court T-shirts,
they've moved a lot of them, haven't they?
They might not need to do much other printing work. Huge swing there from Lake, and it's quickly 0-2. Keeping an eye on Wieters. Way out in front, messed with his timing, and with that, Rasmussen strands Wieters at first base. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Last call for the Mariners. Cruz, Cano, and then Gutierrez, who's already homered once tonight.
rally caps on. Coming up on Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines. See, that's a good-looking cap right there and a good-looking jersey. We will head inside the clubhouse to hear from the players after this one, as well as the skipper. Jason Bay, the former Mariner, is out in center field with our Brad Adam, ready to break this one down. And we get you set for tomorrow's game with Taiwan Walker on the mound. It's all coming up on Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines. Aaron, get your rally cap on?
Both of us do. Sounds like a good show coming up, Edge, as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. And, well, Mike, this is for certain. If you're Lloyd, you got the right guys coming up.
No, you're right. Cruz is going to lead things off. Then it's Cano. They have been hot. Gutierrez after that. He has already homered in the ball game.
Mariners need 2 to tie, 3 to win, as Zach Britton, David Lowe, new left fielder, taking over for Junior Lake. Britton is out for the 5-out save. Hardy tries to stay with it, and it's not in time. Cruz is safe.
Well, we were talking about the Orioles, #1 fielding team in the American League, but an error by Hardy and a break for the Mariners. They needed a base runner, and they're able to get one. This ball is hit on the button. Handcuffs him a little bit. By the time he recovers, Cruz with good speed. We've talked about that this year, not able to throw him out at first. So the Mariners in business here in the 9th.
When you talk about exit velocity and StatCast this year, Cruz is one of the leaders in the game, so you have to figure a ground ball to short from Cruz is not maybe your typical ground ball to short.
No, it certainly is not.
Cano the tie and run. You can hear the pop of the glove from Joseph, the catcher. That one burned it in at 97. Showalter pacing. Right back to Hardy. To second and to first. 2 outs. Now Hardy bounces back and starts a double play.
Just a 2-hopper right to him. Almost right where he was standing, retreats just a little bit.
For Zach Britton, this would be his 3rd save this season of 5 outs. He's done it before. Has to face Goody.
Don't see that much in the game today. Closers getting more than the 3 outs that's required in the 9th. Typically, they will not see the 8th inning. Although we have seen Carson Smith pitch in the 8th inning. Typically, to try to get a out, and then he'll come back out and pitch the 9th. But we rarely see it.
Darren O'Day had a 5-out save earlier this season for the Orioles. But Britton, the closer. Down to the final strike. I've seen a good off-speed pitch tonight from Britton.
And a really good fastball. He's topped out at 98.
Goody stays alive. If he can reach, Austin Jackson is on deck. 2 outs, a ball and 2 strikes. Bottom of the 9th inning. I mentioned the velocity. Britton, a very fresh arm. This is his first time pitching since the 5th. Boy and Chen in line for the win. Worked into the 8th. At one point sat down 13 in a row. Evens up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now Goody badly wanting to reach base to bring the tying run up. Every win counts for the Orioles, trying to hang in for that second wild card spot. And Goody, Mike, has fouled away some tough pitches, hasn't he?
He has, and the other thing with him that I've noticed this year since he's joined the club is he can still hit a good fastball, and this is a really good fastball. 99 right on the outside corner, and he just gets a piece of it. But he can catch up to a good fastball.
Taiwan will start tomorrow night. Pitch number 9 coming up.
I'm going to guess this is something that Buck Showalter did not want to see. A lot of pitches on his closer, even though he's had time off. You mentioned that he hasn't pitched since the 5th. You can get him up over 30 pitches. Maybe you keep him from being able to pitch tomorrow or the next day.
What a battle here. Full count, pitch number 10 on the way. Jackson on deck, tying run. Got to bring him up, though. Britton's 3-2. This is hammered. Sending a long run for Jones, and he can't get to it off the fence. Gutierrez in at second base. The Mariners have a heartbeat here at the bottom of the 9th inning with 2 outs. And they bring up Austin Jackson.
And what a great at-bat by Franklin Gutierrez. We'll take a look at the 10th pitch, a fastball at 98 miles an hour. A little bit surprised to see Adam Jones, the center fielder, playing as shallow as he was. That will be a double for Franklin Gutierrez. A good night for him. A home run and now a double. But more importantly, it keeps the Mariners alive.
Jackson the tying run. Looking for his first hit tonight.
Austin Jackson in his career 2 for 8 off of Britton.
Comes in a fastball to 99. Chen 1 run, 3 hits, 7 1/3 innings. And Mike, you're mentioning the pitch count. Gibbons now beginning to warm up in the bullpen for Buck Showalter.
That was what we were talking about for Britton. The next pitch will be 30 for him.
Gibbons just called up to the minors today, a late roster move for the Orioles. 0-2 on Jackson, 2 outs. Goody at second base to double. And it gets away from Joseph Gutierrez, easily taking third base.
Be a wild pitch on a fastball at 99. He just throws it in the dirt. Been a while for Franklin Gutierrez to have a couple of extra base hits in a game back to 2013. Double and a home run.
And this, by the way, is a season high in pitches for Britton. Stays alive, fights it off at 98. With 2 outs, the 1-2. Joseph can't hold on.
And Austin barely getting a piece of that last fastball. You can see on the EQC tracer, well off the plate away, but just enough of it.
Again, the 1-2. And no contact. Here comes Goody. He scores easily. And with that, Jackson is in at first base. The Mariners get a run, and they stay alive. Just like they drew it up, Mike.
Any way that you can make it happen, Aaron, it doesn't matter. We'll take a look at it. And Joseph just missed it. It was a good fastball, 98 miles an hour. Never was able to get his glove turned over as it goes to the backstop. And the swing by Austin Jackson never touched it, but you can see the way he has his glove turned completely opposite of the way that you want to. That'll give Montero an opportunity. Montero with a home run in yesterday's game. In fact, it was a 2-run home run. Down. Bad break for Montero. There you can see it on the tracer. 98 miles an hour below the strike zone. Carson Smith throwing in the Mariners bullpen. And for Britton now 37 pitches in the inning.
Oh, 2.
That pitch count is off. 34 pitches in the inning for Britton. There you go.
Tied run at first. Montero down on strikes. The Orioles take game 1. Mariners lead the tying run at first base. Tough one tonight. Mariners had a chance late. Wayne Chin really handcuffed the Mariners hitters, though, Mike.
No, he did. I think, first of all, if you look at Nuno and what the bullpen did tonight, they really pitched pretty well against a good offensive club in the Orioles. But Chen, just a little bit too much, turned it over to one of the better closers in the American League in Britton, and not a lot of offense. Really, the offense coming from Franklin Gutierrez tonight.
And Goody, the home run in the second, and then scoring on the double. After he reached on the double, that is, here in the 9th inning. Orioles win it tonight, a final score of 3-2. Mariners post-game presented by Delta Airlines. It starts right now with Brad and Jason. Guys.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. Kind of a subdued celebration.